Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And in a very unprecedented news update, we have some wild information for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. The Jon Favreau flick is coming in May of 2026, and with Star Wars Celebration just a few months away, we're probably going to get some more information then, as well as our very first public teaser trailer. But today, my dear friends, a huge character leak, and from the sounds of it, a movie which is titled The Mandalorian and Grogu might be focusing on some other characters instead. And I'm not gonna lie to you, from the sounds of things it's going to be a Clone Wars reunion movie, and fans have taken issue with this. According to Christian Harloff, corroborated by BestBenBulletin.com, Embo the Bounty Hunter will be the main villain of The Mandalorian and Grogu. There is also some further plot information I'll get to in just a moment, but I just want to say this: if for whatever reason they decide to kill Embo off, they've already broken canon. According to the Star Wars Adventures comics, Embo survives well beyond the Mandoverse, and into the era of the sequel trilogy. But even earlier in the timeline, during the Mandalorian and Grogu during the reign of the New Republic, we do know quite a bit. He received a full pardon from Chancellor Mon Mothma, and then was given compensation and retired from bounty hunting. He chose to settle down on Felucia and became a farmer there. He would then stay in retirement for nearly 30 years. But now they're changing this, and according to Best Bin Bulletin, the catalyst for all of this is Rotta the Hutt, Jabba's son, who we found out a few weeks ago is going to be in the movie. Well, now we know the storyline is going to be similar to the Clone Wars movie from 2008. Rotta was kidnapped as a baby, and now he's being kidnapped again, as an adult. Din Djarin is hired to rescue Rotta, but on the flip side, Embo is hired by the other Hutts to kill Jabba's son. They want Rotta gone. There is an implication the Hutts trying to kill Rotta are the same ones from Book of Boba Fett. And in this way, the twins want Jabba's inheritance, and they want Rotta gone. So definitely some internal Hutt politics going on, and it seems like Embo is gonna clash with Din. And by the way guys, that means Dave Filoni is voicing 3 characters: Embo, Chopper, if he appears, and Trapper Wolf. Dave just can't seem to help himself. Fans have responded in one of 2 ways. You have those who are saying this is great, especially Clone Wars fans. It's great to have another Clone Wars character make his way into live action. But then you have fans who are saying, well, there is one major problem with this. It's not the fact Embo is appearing, it's the fact he is, quote, the main villain of the movie. Surely the first ever Mandoverse movie, the transition from TV show to the big screen, and the first Star Wars movie in years, warrants a more substantial villain than this. Don't get me wrong, Embo is a fantastic character, a menace of a bounty hunter, but the main villain of the Mandalorian movie, when you have Grand Admiral Thrawn back in the known galaxy, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit disappointing. But at least we're getting some Imperial remnant in this movie. Johnny Coin's remnant is back, and maybe some of the other Shadow Council members. I guess the Mandalorian and Grogu was never meant to be enormous in scope. The massive endgame crossover event is Filoni's movie. But look, if Embo is back, I'm hoping we see some Boba Fett to help Din Djarin. Maybe they'll confirm if Cad Bane survived. And in the realm of bounty hunters, you know who I really want to see? Bosk and Dengar, the latter of which is alive much further down the timeline as well. But this is some pretty interesting news, not what I expected. I am actually very curious as to the plot. But I suppose the worry for a lot of fans is this is just another member berry, and the actual story itself is being compromised. We want a movie that is focused on Din and Grogu, just like the title says, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Another fun fact connecting Embo to the Mandoverse, his pet Anuba was coincidentally called Marok. And something funny about him, if he's alive in the movie, it also breaks canon. But let's be honest, it's a relatively minor retcon, but it wouldn't be the first time they're retconning elements of the Aftermath trilogy. In fact, the recent Battle of Jakku comics directly contradict events in Chuck Wendig's work. I might make a separate video about this, but on the subject of Marok, Dave Filoni would never pass up the opportunity to bring in another wolf. In other major Star Wars news, my dear friends, we've got some major announcements coming at Star Wars Celebration this coming April, including the next Star Wars animated show following The Bad Batch. And now, according to a brand new rumor, this is via thedirect.com, there are 2 Star Wars animated projects in the works, and Lucasfilm voice acting veteran Steven Stanton seems to have acknowledged this. So here's what they say. Lucasfilm is reportedly developing 2 animated Star Wars series for Disney+. Since around 2008, Star Wars has had a steady track record of having flagship 3D animated series, including The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, Resistance, which, let's be honest, wasn't too popular but did have its moments, and The Bad Batch. And in the wake of the latter coming to an end last year, Star Wars animation has been left without a flagship project. And there have been 3 main theories about the direction Star Wars animation is going to take. Aside from Star Wars Visions and the next Tales of show, there's a very good chance the next 3D animated series is going to follow on from The Bad Batch. Is it going to be a Rex and Echo Clone Rebellion show? Some have theorized it's going to be about Asajj Ventress, and others wonder if it's going to be about Omega's time with the Rebellion. Although you never know, she might come into live action during the New Republic in Ahsoka Season 2. Whatever the case may be, Lucasfilm is developing more animated stuff, and I'd be very surprised if we didn't get a trailer at Star Wars Celebration. So stay tuned guys, an announcement is coming. Are you excited? I certainly am. So because we're due for an update, the Directs give their theories of Star Wars animated shows that could be announced. They have a bit of a different approach to what I said. They reckon the Mandoverse could transition to animation. They write, a lengthy animated series could help with the extra world building, centering around characters like Din, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Ezra, and more. But do you want to know what I think? If they are going to do a post-Return of the Jedi animated show, that should be the place they explore the stories of Luke, Han and Leia, instead of deepfaking and recasting. Because the problem they face, with the way they're currently doing things, is if they throw in more of that deepfake Luke, like in Mando and Book of Boba Fett, he can never really be the star of a story in this era, unless they do a full recast. But like I said, a solid alternative is a post-Episode 6 animated show. Another theory the Direct propositions is going back in the timeline, maybe to the Old Republic, maybe another show set during the High Republic, or going all the way back and doing a Dawn of the Jedi tie-in show. But in my opinion, 2 good guesses: another Tales of anthology, a season 2 of Tales of the Jedi, or Tales of the Empire, and secondly a follow-up to The Bad Batch. We'll find out soon enough. Another interesting suggestion is continuing Cal Kestis' story away from the games, an animated show about the hidden path. There are so many possibilities. But what do you guys think? Share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.